Our verses for today are from Matthew 9, 16 through 17. The whole chapter of Matthew 9 is this compelling story of Jesus doing miracle after miracle after miracle. And there's two different responses by people who watch this. The first one, people are in awe. They're like, I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible. And then there's the religious folk that are kind of sitting back, pestering Jesus with questions. And they're like, hey, I see you're doing something good, but you're doing it wrongly. How can this be true? I see you healed somebody, but you did it in the wrong way. Is this okay? And they can't see Jesus for who he is, that he's doing a brand new thing and making everything new. And miracle after miracle, they pester and pester. And finally, Jesus says this, and then they go away. Jesus says this in Matthew 9, 16 through 17. He says, who would patch old clothing with new cloth? For the new patch, it would shrink and rip away from the old cloth, leaving an even bigger tear than before. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the old skins would burst from the pressure, spilling the wine and ruining the skins. But new wine is stored in new skins, so that both are preserved. Jesus is trying to get their attention. He says, hey, you keep trying to look at what I'm doing that's new and force it into your old way of thinking. And the thing you got to give up is that if it's me, it's Jesus, it's following what he's asking, and it doesn't fit, then the old way of thinking is the wrong thing. You got to give that up. Instead of following that and saying Jesus has to fit the way of thinking, allow ourselves to be following this new thing and let him make us new. And this happens in all kinds of areas of life as we try to fully follow Jesus. The old way of thinking, how we thought about money, he's like, hey, I want you to be radically generous. I want you to invest in people now, not wait for retirement and use it only for those that are my biological family. They say, hey, the way you think about success, that success is doing things that people respect or look up to. He's like, no, my success is helping serve people at radical and generous levels and doing things that might hurt you for the sake of them. I know it doesn't make sense. It's a new way of thinking. It's how I think. If it doesn't fit, you got to give up the way you're thinking. And so for you and me, all the time, Jesus is doing this every weekend. When we open the Bible, when we talk to people that challenge us to follow him, he's doing a new thing all the time in a different area of our life. And that's what it means to fully follow Jesus. That you got to lean into the tension of what he's doing in our life. That he wants to take a thing that we thought was real and change it to be more like him and give us a different way of thinking. And so here's my challenge. When you read old wineskins, new wineskins, old patch, new patch, if you're not in that kind of tension where God's doing something new in your life, maybe you're not really following him as much as you're following the old way of thinking. And it's time to give that up and follow the Jesus that when he shows up, everything changes and everything's made better. Pray with me. God, confront us. Do in us new things all the time, and we'll follow you. In your name, amen.